put how old this franchise is into perspective for you, when the first film came out, the original Hunger Games, I was a freshman in college. I am now graduated from college. It's just kind of interesting to me how long of a time frame that has been since the first film and now this finale. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell and this is once again coming from my apartment. Now today we are going to be talking about the film The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. If you have been subscribed to this channel for a fairly long time, you might remember when I did my review of Mockingjay the book. Have fun digging through the channel to find that review. I have read this book. I have read the whole trilogy of Hunger Games. So I went into this movie knowing generally where things were going to play out, what characters were going to meet their ends, and just kind of the end game of how this whole thing is going to play out. So I went into it knowing things, and that's something that's kind of rare at this point with a lot of the movies that I watch. And so my opinion might be skewed slightly because of that, but take it as you will. Now, as part one, it kind of focused more on the political side of things. We saw more just like District 13 building up its army, trying to build up political propaganda against the Capitol, and that's generally what the film was about for part one. And I didn't take to it as much as I thought I might, and so I thought it was fine. Didn't enjoy it as much as I might have. Part 2 focuses on the invasion of the Capitol. It dives right into it, probably within the first 20 minutes of the film. And I loved this fact because we didn't spend 45 minutes to an hour just kind of building up to this whole Capitol invasion. They put us right into it within the first half hour, which I loved so much. This one picks up pretty much directly after the events of Part 1. Spoilers for that if you haven't seen it, obviously. But at the end of Part 1, we see Peeta just brainwashed by the Capitol. He is choking Katniss out, and we open up with bruises on her neck. She can barely speak. And it's really a compliment to Jennifer Lawrence's acting capabilities because I really felt like she could hardly speak. She was just gasping out words, and it was a very tough scene to watch for me. But Jennifer Lawrence, as always at this point, she does a phenomenal job in this role, and her final time as Katniss Everdeen, I loved every second of her performance. I thought it was all very realistic, besides some maybe slightly overacted scenes just in places here or there. I also like the Katniss-Peeta dynamic because it's very different from what we've seen in the first two films, and in that they're kind of really good allies and stick together and everything. We have Peeta kind of on the offensive this time. He's been brainwashed by the Capitol. He sees Katniss as this enemy, and so there are times where you see his behavior just go rabid, and it's really interesting to see that. It's a really big compliment to Josh Hutcherson, who can like pull off this huge range in regards to his acting capabilities. We see him just normal Peeta in some scenes, and then just like crazy out of his mind in some others, and it's just really cool to see that. I can't get away with this review without mentioning the action scenes. These are some of the things which are just showcased in the trailer, and I thought that they all looked very, very well done. There's a scene where there's just a ton of oil, just hot boiling oil, which is coming at the group of rebels. And then we also have scenes where there's just like these zombie creature things, which I don't remember from the book at all, just chasing them, and that all looked extremely well done. I assume that's not CGI and that's actual characters, like people dressed up in these outfits and just playing on these roles. It all looked very, very cool and very well done. I thought all the action scenes just looked phenomenal. Kind of a small thing, but also something that I just generally enjoyed. There's like a small section that at least one section that I noticed, where they have kind of like the theme from the Hanging Tree song, because that was such a prominent part of the first part of Mockingjay, so I really liked seeing it kind of as a callback just at the beginning of this war. And this film ultimately is a showcase of war. We see Katniss Everdeen, this person who has been basically forced into being the leader of this revolution, the face of this revolution, and you see her kind of just struggle with that fact. We see her be put into war situations and just see kind of her have to just harden herself so much to these various situations, and then like the aftermath of that and what she goes through with that situation, and just all these things, and it kind of just shows what a general soldier would go through when they're just forced into all these insane scenarios that war does sometimes bring. I obviously cannot speak to it because I don't have any experience with it, but I thought that Jennifer Lawrence as an actress and then just everyone in this movie just did a great job showcasing what war is truly like, and just kind of the questions that you have to ask. Are you willing to sacrifice civilian innocent lives in order to further your cause? Is that a risk and a sacrifice that you are willing to take in order to just further your cause? They're just very interesting questions that this film decides to pose to the audience, and I actually found it really, really well done. I will say this though, I think that if you do not watch, or at least rewatch, Mockingjay Part 1 before going into this film, you might be slightly lost as to what all is happening. I was lucky enough to be able to walk in last, I think maybe half hour, 45 minutes of Part 1 because I had tickets to a double feature. I had to work until 6, so I ended up in the last 45 minutes of the movie. So I was lucky enough to be able to see and remember how Part 1 ended. I haven't watched Part 1 since I saw it in theaters a year ago, so it was a nice refresher as to who main characters are, what places they have, what roles they play. So I definitely recommend checking out Mockingjay Part 1 before you watch this film, at least rewatch it. It's on Hulu and Amazon at this point for free, I think. So give that a watch before you see this. And then, well, I won't get into it here, and I probably won't get into it anywhere unless I do another Inner Thoughts video. The ending twists, I thought, worked really, really well, because there are two significant twists which happen in the books, which are also something which occur in the movie, and I thought that they were handled just very, very well done. I don't think I would have seen them coming had I not known that they were coming from the book. I thought it was all very well done in this film. I'm saying well done a lot, but this film, in my opinion, was very well done. It's kind of a habit at this point with like final installments of huge book trilogies. I like the last Harry Potter movie probably a lot more than the rest of the movies. I like the last Hobbit movie, which a lot of people did not like, just because it's where all the action was, and I was bored by the first two films. And so this film, kind of the same way. Part 1 didn't excite me terribly much. Part 2 is where we get to see a lot of the conflict that Part 1 was missing, and I just loved every second of it. It's very dark, it's very gritty, and I just really found myself enjoying this film. It's very well paced, the time just flew by for me, and yeah, I just had a brilliantly fun time with it. The very end scene, like the last 10-15 minutes, I thought could have wrapped up maybe a little bit quicker, because it kind of just takes away from some of the dynamic flair which just kind of the ending scenes with the Capitol and everything pose. But I mean, they're in the book, so they kind of had to cover it. It just seemed like it kind of was drawn out a little bit more than I would have liked it to. But yeah, generally, The Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Part 2 concludes this trilogy / 4-part movie series in a very well done way, and I really enjoy this film, maybe more than Catching Fire. I think I still like Catching Fire just a little bit, just slightly more, but yeah, this one is definitely up there as probably one of my top of the year. For sure, you'll probably definitely see it on that list when I do it in December. But those are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Please don't put any spoilers in the comments, just for people that haven't seen it. Message me privately or tweet me or something if you want to discuss it further. Did you like the film as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe once again if you so choose. I appreciate it immensely. And as always, my people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.